All right, let's talk about the world of Reverend Insanity. If you're looking for a story about heroes and happy endings, well, this ain't it. This is a brutal, intricate, and utterly unforgiving world that redefines what it means to survive. And to really get it, you have to understand its one single, unwavering rule. And that's not just some cool, edgy quote. No, that is the law of this world. It's the law of nature, of society, of power, you name it. Everything, every choice, every friendship, every backstab, it all comes back to this one brutal idea. This is definitely not a place for the faint of heart, and the person we're following through it all, yeah, he is not a hero. So the story kicks off from a point of view you almost never get to see in fiction, the villains. And not just any villain. This guy just got handed the kind of second chance most people can only dream of.
Get this, our guide is a 500-year-old demonic cultivator named Fang Yuan. In his first life, he was this unstoppable force, but he gets cornered, he gets defeated, but right at the end, he uses this legendary treasure, and boom, his soul gets zapped back in time. He wakes up in his own teenage body, but here's the kicker. He still has all 500 years of memories, all the experience, and every last drop of his cold-blooded ambition.
So who is this Fang Yuan, really? Well, to put it mildly, he's a villain. He's cruel, he's pragmatic, the ends justify the means type, the whole reason he got taken down in his first life. He used this forbidden goo, the spring-autumn cicada, we'll get to what goo are in a sec, to reverse time, and to do that, he killed thousands of people just for his own personal gain. So no, he's not looking for redemption, he's not trying to be a better person, he wants one thing, ultimate power, eternal life. And now, with 500 years of hindsight, he knows every single shortcut and dirty trick to get there.
Okay, so how does someone like Fang Yuan actually get powerful? It's not about building an army or conquering a kingdom, not in the traditional sense anyway. In this world, all power, and I mean all of it, comes from one really fascinating and, honestly, kind of creepy source.
You've got this world that's just teeming with savage beasts, deadly landscapes. I mean, everything wants to kill you, and yet somehow humans have managed to climb to the very top of the food chain. How? What's their secret weapon? It's definitely not because they're bigger or stronger. Nope. The answer is something that comes from the very essence of heaven and earth itself. And that source is something called goo. Think of them as magical insects. They're literally born from nature, and a person can, absorb them, refine them, and raise them inside their own body. There's this energy core called an aperture where you keep them. You feed them, you nurture them, and in return, these little magical bugs grant you incredible, supernatural powers. It's wild. And the sheer variety of these goos is just insane. You've got your basic attack types, like the moonlight goo that lets you sling blades of light from your fingertips. There's the white boar goo, which gives you guessed it, the strength of a giant boar. Jade skin goo makes you super tough. But then there are support types too, like the liquor worm, which actually helps you refine your own internal energy to make it stronger. And then you get to the really crazy stuff, the legendary goo, like that spring-autumn cicada we mentioned. That's a rank 6 goo, and it is so powerful it can literally turn back time. But just collecting a few cool bugs isn't enough, not even close. If you want to be truly powerful in this world, you have to climb a ladder, a very specific, very difficult ladder of cultivation. So, every goo master is ranked from 1 to 9, and as you level up, the actual primeval essence inside you changes. You start at rank 1 with what's called green copper essence. Then you hit rank 2, it becomes red iron, rank 3 is white silver, rank 4 is yellow gold. And each and every rank is a massive jump in power. By the time you get to the top ranks, you're not just a person anymore. You're basically a walking, talking force of nature. But, and this is a huge but, here's the catch. The whole system is basically rigged from the start. It's not just about how hard you work. Your potential, how high you can climb that ladder, it's pretty much decided the day you're born. It all comes down to your talent grade. Let's say you're a C grade talent, which our guy Fang Yuan is, by the way. Your aperture, your internal battery, might only hold, say, 44% primeval essence, and it recharges slowly. But an A-grade talent, their aperture can hold 80, even 90%, and it recharges way faster. That one little difference at birth creates this massive, almost insurmountable gap right from the get-go. Okay, let's recap. We've got a world where survival of the fittest is the law. We've got a power system based on magical insects you raise in your gut, and we've got a built-in class system based on the talent you're born with. So, what does a society built on all that actually look like? Well, it's not pretty.
Everything is built around clans. At the very top, you've got the clan leader and the elders. They have absolute power. They control all the resources, the best Gwei worms, all the secret techniques. Then you have the regular Gwei masters. They're the muscle, the clan's strength. They get some respect, sure, but really, they're just pawns for the elders. And way at the bottom, you have the mortals, the farmers, the servants. They have zero power. None. And in a system like that, what do you think happens to things like family, friendship, and love? They become tools, just another resource to be exploited. As Fang Yuan sees it, people will happily trample over anyone, their brother, their best friend, if it gets them ahead. Loyalty is temporary, and betrayal, that's just smart planning.
And this is the really messed up part. The system isn't broken. It's working perfectly. The people at the top dress it all up in fancy words like honor and glory for the clan, but it's all just a way to convince everyone else to work themselves to death or literally die in a fight, all for the benefit of the powerful few.
So why do people put up with this? Why does everyone just accept this brutal reality? To get that, we have to go back to the beginning. We need to look at their creation myth, the story that tells them what being human is all about. The story goes that way back, before the clans, the world was just a savage wilderness. There was no order, no safety, just ferocious beasts everywhere. And humanity, they were at the bottom of the food chain, basically on the verge of being wiped out. And then, the first man appeared, a legendary figure they call Renzu. He's basically the Adam of their world, the father of all humanity. But Renzu's life was anything but easy. It was a constant, desperate struggle just to stay alive. He was weak, he didn't have claws or fangs like the beasts that hunted him. And in the myths, these beasts are called predicaments, which is pretty on the nose. So his legend isn't some happy story about creating a paradise. It's a bloody, gritty tale about one man's desperate quest to gain power through goo just so he wouldn't get eaten. And that story right there is the bedrock of their entire culture. It teaches everyone from birth that life is a battle and power is the only thing that guarantees you'll see tomorrow.
And that brings us right back to Fang Yuan and the central question of this whole novel. Think about it. If the world itself is already built on a villain's philosophy, might makes right, the strong survive, then what happens when a true villain, someone who embraces that darkness completely, comes along? Can he actually win? Can he reach the very top?
Fang Yuan's story is basically a long, brutal experiment to find the answer. He's got his 500 years of knowledge as a roadmap, and he is going to use every rule, manipulate every person, and pull every dirty trick in the book to claw his way to the absolute peak of power.
So, I'll leave you with this question. Imagine you woke up tomorrow, back in your teenage body, but you knew everything you know now. What would you do? Would you try to fix your mistakes, maybe make the world a better place? Or, if you were in a world like this one, a world where morality is a weakness and only strength matters, would you take that knowledge and seize your chance to gain ultimate, absolute power? It's a tough one, right?